on 12 News. Want to get rid of coyotes? Plymouth police say try the hazing method. Plus, a piano-playing principal inspiring student fitness in Brooklyn Park. But first, the heat capital of the U.S.?
Right now, the Twin Cities are as warm as any place in the country.
At least today it is. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. It was a sizzling hot day in the Northwest Metro.
That's right. The thermometer reached 92 degrees here, breaking a record. And Eric Nelson has more on this unusually warm day.
This sun-drenched Friday is the perfect kickoff to Mother's Day weekend. The folks here at the National Weather Service say it is extremely rare to have this kind of heat in early May.
The warmest bubble, is across the north here.
Forecaster Chris Frank's weather maps had an unusual look today.
Well, right now we're forecasting 90.
As the Twin Cities was one of the nation's hot spots.
Right now, the Twin Cities are as warm as any place in the country. You even go to South Texas, Florida.
For one day at least, Minneapolis was the heat capital of the U.S.
That's rare.
Even hotter than Phoenix.
That bubble of heat is just kind of sitting right over the top of us.
Meanwhile, at the Sunshine Factory in Plymouth, there was plenty of sunshine.
I love it. Bring it on.
Feels good to sit outside.
Postcard day.
More. Tomorrow, the next day, we'll be outside.
Tables with sunbrellas were a coveted commodity, and the patio was packed.
It's amazing what a week does, Last week it was 40 and raining, and now it's 90 degrees and sunny.
At French Lake Regional Park, the heat did not slow down bikers or walkers. Others had some fun in the sun on a royal blue lake.
I think it's a great Friday way to kick off the weekend.
By early afternoon, the thermometer had jumped to a record 90 degrees.
Based on our pace right now, we should be right around 90 for a high, maybe 91. But
a record for the Twin Cities on this date. However, the heat spike will be gone in a Minnesota minute.
You have a big mass of cold air up here and warmer temps down here. Just even little wobbles to these big air masses can influence your temperature locally.
The temps drop back into the 70s on Saturday and Sunday.
That's kind of what we see a lot of times in May. If we're going to hit 90, it's only a day or maybe two, and then it's quickly back, in the 70s.
I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Chris Franks of the National Weather Service says the fire danger is high due to the hot and warm conditions, and he advises people avoid outdoor burning.
In Robbinsdale, police have arrested a 54-year-old man for shooting a woman in the neck. It happened about 6:30 Thursday night in the 3900 block of Scott Avenue North. The suspect fled on foot, but police eventually found him being driven away by a friend at the intersection of 36th Avenue and Highway 100. Police found a handgun in the car. The woman was reported in stable condition on Thursday night. Charges against the suspect are pending.
Spring is a time of year for more coyote sightings.
A lot of people ask why the city of Plymouth doesn't remove coyotes. Actually, the DNR does not recommend that because the remaining coyotes would only respond by producing larger litters.
While Plymouth police haven't had an increase in complaints, the city takes many calls every spring when coyotes give birth. If you see a coyote, you should use what police call the hazing method to scare them away.
If people see a coyote in their yard, they should do something that we call hazing, running at them, shouting, banging pots and pans, spraying with the garden hose, and to continue to do that until they're off the property. It seems to have a positive effect.
Police encourage residents to secure garbage cans and don't leave any food outdoors.
The race for state senate in District 44 is now up to 3 candidates on the DFL side. Deb Calvert, a former staff member under Senator Amy Klobuchar, has joined the field. She'll compete with Plymouth resident Leah Solo and Minnetonka City Council member Tony Wagner for the DFL nod. The seat is currently held by Democrat Terry Bonoff, who is running for Congress. On the Republican side, 3 candidates are in the race, including Plymouth Mayor Kelly Slavic. Many high school juniors and seniors are celebrating prom this month.
The prom is this weekend at Cooper High School, and today students got a sobering message. Here's reporter Shannon Slatton.
Oh my God, somebody, I need help, somebody, I need 911.
It's that moment where everything stands still.
Wake up.
You know that something has gone horribly wrong, and the world might never be right again. Cooper High School's prom is this weekend.
Metro players en route.
So today, students learned about choices.
We're going to see the aftermath of bad choices.
You guys were at prom?
And what could happen when a student makes the wrong choice to drink and drive.
It is really important to make our teenagers understand when we make a choice, there can be a consequence if it was a bad choice. And tomorrow we celebrate prom, which is a good time to remind kids to make good choices.
2010.
Students worked on this presentation since the fall, trying to make it as realistic as possible.
It's the shock value that will help a teenager understand exactly what can happen.
They don't really take things like this seriously, you know, they just kind of think like, oh, you know, drinking and driving is just another thing, but actually it's something that really needs to be taken seriously, so.
In hopes that today a message hits home of why making the right choice is always the right idea. In New Hope, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
West Metro Fire, New Hope Police, North Memorial, and the Hennepin County Coroner all helped with the demonstration.
A group of Brooklyn Park students received an inspirational serenade from an unlikely source today. Brook Elementary Principal Scott Taylor played Chariots of Fire on the piano as the students prepared to go on a mile-long run. The run is part of a physical fitness test that all students in the district have to take. The music is an added bonus that Taylor has done for 3 years to inspire the students before they start running.
You know, they probably don't recognize the song, although, you know, you play it enough, they start to associate it with running. So making those connections for the kids is fun. And it also provides some fun for the staff, too.
More than 200 students at Brook took part in the mile-long run, and because it is part of a test, staff members timed the students as they crossed the finish line. And they weren't doing it in slow motion.
No,
like in
you have to assume their parents knew it, right?
Coming up, a garden full of goodies for Mother's Day weekend.
And then a little bit later in sports, Champlin Park meets Totino-Grace in a key game in Northwest Suburban Conference Baseball.
But first, a weather gift this Mother's Day weekend. Beautiful spring days in the forecast on Saturday and Sunday. Summer is in the air, and an annual effort in Robbinsdale is underway to brighten up downtown. The goal is to raise $2,000 by Monday for hanging flower baskets along West Broadway. So far, more than $1,600 has been raised. The money also covers the cost of hiring people to water those flowers on weekends. Several years ago, a survey showed the summer baskets were one of the residents' favorite things about downtown.
What we found is that it really makes our downtown a lot more homey. You know, kind of a nice option for our little downtown to just make it a little more nice. And, you know,
and if you'd like to chip in, you can make a contribution at this GoFundMe page or mail a check to the Robbinsdale Beautification Committee. Mother's Day weekend is, of course, the unofficial kickoff to the gardening season.
And many garden centers are filled with folks who can't wait to get in there and get their hands dirty. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden with some tips on planting perennials.
Line's Garden Center in Maple Grove was packed with people and plants.
I get into these places and I just get like...
Customer Sherry Miller loaded up her cart with many varieties of perennials, including this hydrangea bush.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what color mine will be. It depends on your pH in your soil.
She's also planting hostas and a rose bush.
Excited. I can't wait to get home and plant now.
There are plenty of perennials to choose from to make your garden pop. Before picking a flower, determine if you will need shade or a full sun plant.
If you have morning or late afternoon sun, those are the ones that are more for shade.
If you're looking for something with a unique scent, a zebra iris might be the way to go.
It's a variegated iris, and when it's blooming, it's not ready to bloom yet, but when it gets ready to bloom, it smells like grape juice.
Peonies are also popular. Red fernleaf peonies have some unique qualities.
It blooms around Mother's Day. And it's got this little ferny foliage, so it looks so cute. It looks like a little mop head.
But you might have to break the bank to plant this variety.
Most expensive one that we have on the lot, $79.99.
Whatever plant you choose, this weekend will be a great time to get out in the garden.
Flowers give off this great endorphin, and it just gives you that good feeling. And so plant flowers with your mom.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Donna also recommends using a root stimulator the first time that you plant perennials, as perennials take longer to get roots established. Coming up, why Osseo High School has turned into a jungle.
But first, a great group of female athletes is honored at the annual Athena Awards. John Jacobson has that next, and that and more next coming up.
The Athena Awards were started in Minneapolis in the 1970s, shortly after the advent of Title IX. In the decades since then, an annual luncheon has honored one senior female student athlete from each of the nominating Minneapolis area high schools. Today in Bloomington, the 44th annual Athena Awards were handed out to 54 area high school seniors. The award tributes both athletic and academic excellence. Here's what a handful of Athena winners from our area told us about today.
It's definitely an honor being with a bunch of peers that I know and have seen all around the athletic community. It's really an honor to be awarded this.
When I started my other two sports, lacrosse and tennis, in 9th grade year, my mom was like, you can get the Athena Award, and I don't know, I never really thought I would actually get it, but yeah.
It's an awesome honor. I'm very blessed to be recognized through Park Center. Glad to have the opportunity, especially for the hard work that I put on in the field, and I feel like it's an inspiration to a lot of my teammates and a lot of the younger girls on my team.
It's a huge honor. I'm so happy to be here with all these girls and all these great athletes. I'm just so honored.
Here now is a look at a list of all of the local Athena winners. Totino-Grace and Champlin Park are both ranked in the top 10 of Class 4A baseball. The Eagles held a game-and-a-half lead over both Champlin Park and Maple Grove coming into the Thursday game between the Eagles and the Rebels. Top of the first inning, and Champlin Park pitcher Sam Goodman throws a wild pitch. Nolan Nielsen races home from third base to score the game's first run. To the sixth inning, the Eagles ahead 2-1 when the Rebels' Riley Johnson drives one deep to left center field. This one gets to the fence. Zach Loven scores from first base, and Johnson sneaks into third with a triple, and the game is tied up at 2. Same score in the bottom of the sixth inning. With the bases loaded for the Rebels, Aaron Klepner rips a single at center field. Jeff Wayloggy and Alex Backridges come in to score. Champlin Park scores 4 runs in the inning, and they win at 6-2. They're now just a half game behind the Eagles in the Northwest Suburban Conference standings. Also in the Northwest Suburban, Armstrong hosting Andover. Tied 1-1 in the third until Chance Bowen slaps a single to center for Armstrong. Mitchell Verbatim scores, and Preston Reed follows as the Falcons go up 3-1 through 3. In the fourth, Josh Thorpe connects and drives the ball deep and gets it to the fence. Isaiah Poster scores on Thorpe's extra base hit, and Armstrong takes a 4-1 lead. Still in the fourth, Verbatim wraps a single to left to bring Thorpe around. It's a 5-1 lead for Armstrong. They do most of their damage in the third and fourth innings. Bowens hit to left, scores Verbatim as the Falcons get 4 in the fourth on their way to an 8-3 win over Andover. West Lutheran's playoff run in softball ended at the hands of New Life Academy last spring. The teams aren't in the same section anymore, but the Warriors were looking to score a win against New Life on Thursday. In the bottom of the first inning, Laura Studansky rips a hit down the line to score Afton Zemke and start a 3-run inning for the Warriors. Bottom of the third, Maria Tripp with a hit over the infielders to bring a Miranda Wahlberg and Lily Nelson around, and it's 7-2 West Lutheran. Fourth inning, Studansky drives the high pitch to the gap to score Elisa Hoffer, and it's 9-3. In the fifth inning, Hoffer connects, and this is out for a 2-run homer. West Lutheran closing in on a conference title. They're still unbeaten, and they win this one 12-3. Also in softball, Brooklyn Center hosting Blake. The Centaur Sandy Thompson drives a hit to the gap in right center field. Felicia Yang and Deja Gibson scores. BC scores 6 in the third inning to go ahead 8-4 on the Bears. Blake answers in a big way. Sammy Wagner tags it to deep left center. And this one is gone. A 3-run shot for Wagner. The Bears get 4 in the top of the 4th to make it 8-8. Tied 11-all heading to the 7th inning, and Blake erupts for 6 runs. Annabelle Chase with a liner over the shortstop. Jesse Rudine scores, and the Bears go up 17-11. Brooklyn Center rallies in the bottom of the 7th as Molly Thaldis grounds a hit to right to score Miranda Grangruth. The fall short, and Blake wins this one. 17-5 Bears the final. That's it for sports today.
Lots of hitting.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks a lot, John.
Still to come, something that happens only this weekend.
A trip to the jungle in Osseo when we come back.
Elijah.
And finally, why you'll find yourself in the middle of a jungle at Osseo High School.
Neil Persley explains in today's Weekend Showcase.
Front Porch Musical Theater presents Disney's Jungle Book Kids version on stage this weekend only.
Jungle Book is so popular right now because, of course, the movie's out. So people are saying, oh yeah, I saw that in the movie theater. Well, this is Disney's Jungle Book. So it's the original score, the original music from the Disney show.
Get mad, baby.
Elias Hickel plays the laid-back, fun-loving friend of Mowgli, Baloo the bear.
I can just let everything go and just act really crazy and let my inner fun just come out.
The kids in the production range from ages 7 to 13. They're high energy and very enthusiastic.
We got a great choreographer and she's teaching us so many great moves, and I just think they would love to watch.
Front Porch is launching a marathon this weekend and probably has a showtime that'll work into your schedule.
It's a total of 180 children, and each cast has 60 children. So on Saturday we have 4 shows back to back, and on Sunday afternoon we have 2 more shows.
This would be a good show for kids because the entire production is only about an hour long with an intermission in the middle. Like Pa said, trust in me. The Disney Jungle Book Kids production is great for the whole family. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
All the Jungle Book shows are at the Osseo Senior High Theater, and for showtimes you can visit our website. That's 12.tv.
That's a lot of kids.
That's get them all involved. That's great. And that does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you back here again Monday starting at 4.